If you asked most men what makes someone strong, they would tell you a bigger body, more money, a deeper voice. But they're wrong, because the strongest men rarely look different. Their strength is invisible. It's hidden in the choices nobody sees, the habits nobody applauds, the battles nobody knows they're fighting. Today I'm going to show you 10 invisible habits that quietly make a man stronger than 99% of people around him. And the last one might completely change the way you see yourself. 1. Keeping promises nobody knows about. The real test is the promises you make to yourself. I'll wake up at 6. I'll finish that workout. I'll read one chapter. Nobody is watching. Nobody will judge you if you quit. But every broken promise teaches your brain one dangerous lesson. My words don't matter. Every kept promise teaches the opposite. I can trust myself. And self-trust is where confidence is born. But confidence isn't enough, because there's another habit that's silently stealing your potential every single day. 2. Learning to sit with boredom. Most men can't survive 5 minutes without stimulation. Music, shorts, Instagram, notifications. Silence feels uncomfortable, but boredom isn't your enemy. It's the doorway to deep thinking. The greatest ideas don't appear while you're endlessly scrolling. They appear during quiet walks, long showers, empty rooms. Learn to be bored, and your mind will begin working for you instead of against you. But there's something even harder than boredom. 3. Controlling your first reaction. Someone insults you. You explode. Something goes wrong. You panic. Someone succeeds. You become jealous. Weakness isn't emotion. Weakness is letting emotion make your decisions. Strong men pause, they breathe, they think, then they respond. A 5-second pause can prevent 5 years of regret. And speaking of words, most people waste thousands of them every day. 4. Speaking less, but saying more. The loudest person in the room rarely has the most influence. Power doesn't come from talking, it comes from meaning every word. When you speak less, people naturally pay more attention. Silence isn't awkward. Silence creates presence. And presence is remembered far longer than noise. But your words aren't the only thing people notice. 5. Protecting your attention. Attention is your greatest currency. Every notification, every pointless argument, every hour of scrolling is quietly stealing your future. Imagine trying to fill a bucket while someone keeps drilling holes in the bottom. That's your life without focus. Protect your attention, and everything else becomes easier. Yet even focused men lose because of one invisible habit. 6. Finishing what you start. Ideas are everywhere. Finishers are rare. Starting feels exciting. Finishing feels uncomfortable. That's why most people have unfinished books, unfinished businesses, unfinished dreams. Every finished task tells your brain, I don't quit. Identity isn't built by inspiration, it's built by completion. But there's one thing even more valuable than discipline. 7. Being comfortable looking foolish. Most men don't fail because they're incapable. They fail because they're afraid of embarrassment, afraid to ask questions, afraid to start, afraid to look inexperienced. But every expert was once the beginner everyone ignored. Embarrassment lasts minutes. Regret lasts years. The strongest men choose temporary discomfort over permanent regret, which leads to the habit almost nobody practices. 8. Walking away. Winning every argument isn't strength. Having the ability to leave one is. Not every insult deserves your attention. Not every fight deserves your energy. Some battles cost more than they're worth. A lion doesn't chase every barking dog. Protect your peace. Because peace creates clarity, and clarity creates power. But even peaceful men have one final battle. 9. Becoming your own coach. Most people become their own biggest critic. You'll never change. You're lazy. You're behind. Imagine having a coach who spoke to you that way every day. You'd quit. Strong men correct themselves, but they never destroy themselves. Replace self-hatred with honest accountability. Growth happens faster when your inner voice becomes your ally. And finally, the habit that ties everything together. 10. Doing the right thing when nobody is watching. Character isn't built in public, it's built in private. returning the extra money, keeping your word, choosing discipline over comfort, turning off the phone, working after motivation disappears. Nobody claps, nobody notices, but you notice. And every invisible decision quietly builds the man you'll become. Because strength was never about muscles. It was never about status. It was never about looking intimidating. Real strength is invisible. It's choosing discipline when comfort is easier, integrity when lying is easier, silence when reacting is easier, action when excuses are easier. Every day, you cast a vote for the man you're becoming. Most men will never notice these habits. That's exactly why they separate the ordinary from the unforgettable. So don't chase looking strong. Build the invisible habits that make you impossible to break. And one day, people will call you naturally confident. They'll never see the thousands of invisible choices that made it possible.